Good day, everyone. This is Polyfuels, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How are things going on over in Barovia?
Still sick, but, at this point, I think that's my lot in life, so it's fine.
I think you're getting it from the fog.
Maybe. Could be. I'll have to have the Vistani work on that.
Yeah, it might be part of the curse or something like that.
Might be. It very well could be. Stupid curse, dark powers, and all that.
Let's go and see what we have in the news this week. It looks like we have an update 58.1 where did they make many changes to your Dark Hunter?
They did not. They fixed a lot of bugs, though. This was mainly a bug fix patch. This was released just last Wednesday, March the 8th, so a couple days ago as we record the show here. Certain Isle of Dread dinosaurs are no longer referred to as party dinosaurs.
Party dinosaurs? What, they wearing little paper hats?
They were, as a matter of fact, yes. That was the problem. Some of the dinosaurs had the party hats on that they have on in the anniversary event. And somehow they were able to take those hats with them when they left the anniversary event. So that's fixed. So no more partying dinosaurs.
Oh, I was just kidding when talking about party.
Yeah, no. That actually was the problem. Is because if you ran the anniversary event, the dinosaurs in there have party hats on. And, they actually did, for some reason, the dinosaurs certain dinosaurs in Isle of Dread had party hats on. So no more partying for the dinosaurs.
Oh, well.
The contingent spell now has been adjusted to its 3 primary elements for all classes. That's to match the druid. Contingent's Crackling Fever now does wisdom damage again.
You mean contagion, right?
Contagion, sorry. I realized that after I said that. I'm like, hey, that is not the right word that I'm saying, but I've said it twice now, so I'm just going to go with it. Blightcaster got a lot of fixes. There was an issue with Blight Wolf and Thorn Knight that made them erroneously repairable. So that is now fixed. Defiled Ground no longer is healing hostile undead. That's probably a good thing. Grasping Thorns, the damage effect description no longer refers to itself as spike growth. Grasping Thorns is now supporting the enhancements Vile Thorns and Poisonous Thorns. Veil of Elements now works properly in high forms. There's a lot more. Go ahead and go over to the show notes to read all of these. I'm not going to go through all these because it's quite a lot. We'll pick a couple of these out, though. Dark Hunter did get a couple fixes. The Smoke Grenade now have the proper visuals, which I noticed when we played Thursday evening, actually, that my Smoke Grenade's now actually smoked. And Bleed Imbue is now properly exclusive with other imbues. Acolyte of the Skin, several general animation for Acolyte of the Skins have been corrected, and corrected some Wood Elf Demon form animations. A couple other fixes in this patch is they corrected some shifter male animations. Elemental weapons and greater elemental weapons spells now have 3-second cooldowns. Players can no longer return from the Ethereal Court after completing the trial in the Order of the Court. And the optional reward chest for finding all 9 pieces of evidence in order in the court is now spawning correctly. The anniversary quest, the Cordovan fight. Cordovan has some updated dialogue. And the Master of the Hunt has joined his fellow Hardcore League NPCs in the anniversary quest.
Oh, hold on. Now, this is the Cordovan dialogue, but they have a new anniversary quest then?
No. It's the same quest. It's just he was this year in the Cordovan fight. There is dinosaurs in there with him instead of the water weirds, and he was still referring to the water weirds. So they changed it. Now he talks about dinos. Is all that was changed.
Okay.
So technically, it's the same quest. They just changed a few things about it. They just added dinos in some places and a few other things. You haven't ran the anniversary quest yet?
Not this year. No, I was
What
too
is
busy
wrong
running
with
Isle
you?
of Dread and stuff like
I
that.
see then. And then the only other thing in the update 58.1 patch was while on a wilderness area, if you select a quest from your quest journal, it is now going to point an arrow on your minimap towards that quest. So
Okay,
that's kind of cool.
okay. Well, yeah, all right, because usually I've had the. I thought I was supposed to do that. Though, then again, I've always been resorting to opening up the map, clicking on the target entrance, which of course meant finding it
Oh,
in the
yeah.
first place, and then
Right.
trying to select it that way.
See, now you don't have to do that.
Okay, so select the quest in the quest journal, and it should point me the way.
Yep.
All right.
And that is update 58.1.
Then let's then head into. It looks like this one is getting mixed reviews. This next little item in here, and I know which side of the mixed track is on, and that is the proposed VIP perks that could launch sometime in the middle of this year. And I heard that you're not happy with.
Let me move over here so I can make room for this 900-pound gorilla that is standing by me in the room here. Yeah. Yeah, let's get into this. A couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now, on Cordovan's Friday show, he had executive producer Severlin on, and they talked about what they're thinking about doing for VIP players. If you've been following the whole VIP player saga, it's been quite the debate raging in the community for quite a while. Ever since they turned off, you know how for a while they had VIP gold rolls were on daily for VIPs, and then that ended.
That was something they said that would be for the rest of the year.
As it was supposed to end. Yeah, I was going to point that out. It was supposed to end. People still threw a fit when it ended, which I don't get because it was anyway. We're not talking about that. That's in the past. So ever since then, people are be like, "Hey, what are you going to do for VIP to make VIP worth it?" Yada yada yada. Here is SSG's plan as of the moment. This is subject to change. They were quick to point that out when they were talking about this on Cordovan's stream, that this is all subject to change. But what they're thinking about doing is doing some monthly rewards for VIP players. So you're going to log in if you're a VIP player. The first month that you're a VIP player, you're going to log in, you're going to get 500 additional DDO points. So that's on top of the 500 that you already get. So in month one, you're going to get 1,000 DDO points. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. And that is a one per account, one-time claim. So keep that in mind. You can only do that once, but month one, you're going to get 500 more points, so you're going to get 1,000 points. All right, that's pretty cool. And then month two rolls around. If you're still VIP, you're going to get a box of many things. And this is one per account, so keep that in mind. Choose your server wisely, whoever you want to use this on. The box of many things is going to give you a choice of one of the following: a summon rest shrine,
Is that the same one that you sometimes get from rolls?
Yes.
In other words, use once and it disappears?
Yep. That it's the exact same one out of the daily dice rolls.
Okay.
A feat swap crystal. Basically, with that, what you do is you take that to Fred in House Sharasco, and you can swap a feat if you want. A sentient experience crystal that gets you 1,000 experience points for your sentient weapon. A pouch of glamour dust, which is going to feature 50 glamour dust. A mirror of glamoring. Omnispell dust, which will give you 2,500 Omnispell dust. A heroic raid timer reset, or a legendary raid timer reset. The sentient experience crystal, okay. I guess the Omnispell dust would be kind of handy too, I guess. Raid timers, if you do a lot of raids, I guess, and you want to reset your raid timer, sure, but meh. I not excited. Okay, so month 3 rolls around. Hey, look, I'm still VIP. Okay, cool. I'm going to get an additional character slot.
So that could come in handy.
Okay, yep.
For everybody Kane at this right now.
Yep. That's very handy. I'm all for this, and that's going to be active while you're a VIP. So as long as you stay VIP, you're going to get a free additional character slot. Okay, all right, that's pretty cool. Month 4 rolls around. You're going to get a reduced item wear. That is 10% reduced item wear on all characters active while you are still VIP.
Oh, that's certainly not up to par with what we get in Lotro, where whenever there's an NPC you could talk to every 2 weeks, and that when you talk to her, she can give you 0% item rare. In other words, you take no item wear for 2 weeks after talking to her.
There you go. I mean, that would be good. Yeah, I don't understand this. Okay, so whatever. So that's month 4. Month 5, you're still sticking around as VIP. You're going to get another box of many things. And you can choose one of those following items we just talked about. Okay.
Well, if you ran out of Omnispell Dust from 3 months ago, it could be useful.
Sure. Or another free 1,000 sentient experience. Okay, cool. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And then month 6 rolls around. Gonna get a trail of dancing lights. This is a cosmetic that leaves a trail of glowing lights behind you. Are several lights that will follow you. What?
Okay. I'm sure that you, as a stealthy character, are going to say, "Why would I want a trail of dancing
lights?" Exactly. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm like, why do we want this? And they did say that they are working on it, so this will not. If you have the bloody footprints from the Hardcore League, it won't replace those. Basically, I think Severlin kind of described it. It's going to be a toggle. You can choose one or the other. Okay. I don't think anybody's clamoring for this trail of dancing lights, but sure. So let's say you're still VIP after month 7.
Okay.
You're going to get some crafting boost, which is 10 additional XP for your crafting.
10%.
All right, yeah, XP. 10%, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know how much you get for crafting in general.
Don't craft, don't care, don't know.
Okay, so in other words, we're talking about 2 people who are never going to use month 7.
Exactly. I've tried to get into crafting. People have tried to help me get into crafting. I'm sure I'm going to get hate comments for me saying I don't care about crafting. Podcast at ddoplayers.com. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me that I should be crafting. Tell me how great it is, please, because I can't get into it. Okay. Month 8 rolls around. Hey, I'm still VIP. What am I going to get?
Having a box of many things. That's due now, right?
Exactly. Another box of many things. Okay. So that's 3 if we're keeping count. 3 box of many things a year you're going to get for being VIP.
Many boxes of Omnispell Dust.
If that's what you want, you can stock up on your Omnispell Dust.
You got to remember, I've never had a sentient weapon in all the time I played those games.
Which I cannot believe. That is going to be, okay, I'm going to go back several weeks on the show when I picked my goals for the year. We are going to get you a sentient weapon. That is a new goal. I cannot believe you've never had a sentient weapon.
Well, remember, I've never played above level 20.
That is the problem. We usually do. We get to almost 20, and then you want to start over. But the fun starts at 20.
See, that's your opinion.
I guess. Okay. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, okay, I'm 9 months into my VIP. What am I going to get for 9 months of VIP?
A VIP? Well, it must be a really, really great. Maybe it's another additional character slot like he got 6 months before.
Yeah, no, that would be nice, wouldn't it? No, you're going to get fletching. 10% returning on all ammunition for all your characters.
Like a Dark Hunter is going to really need that.
There's a lot of characters that don't need this. And then what if, let's say, I'm a fighter and I don't use any ammunition? What the hell good is this going to do me? Who knows?
Maybe if you have throwing axes that you use occasionally.
But I guess. But any ranged character is going to be able to automatically make their own arrows anyway, or they will have like returning darts or returning something anyway.
Yeah.
I don't understand this either. Okay. 10 months in.
Okay.
Hirelings last 20% longer, and you must be VIP to use.
Right.
So
okay.
Anytime you pop a hireling, be it Gold Seal or one that you buy in game, it's going to last 20% longer.
Okay, so that's an extra 12 minutes. That sounds like a decent one.
I mean, I use hirelings a lot. I have a Gold Seal hireling addiction. We all know this.
Yes.
This has been well established on the show. So, okay. All right. I think maybe this could have replaced a couple of the other ones previously that I don't understand why people would want them, but okay. All right. So
does that mean we're going to get another box of many things for month 11?
Well, no. We're switching it up for month 11. We're going to get a greater chest of many things.
Ooh.
This one you get to choose one of the following: a True Heart of Wood, True Heart of Blood, Epic Heart of Blood, 20% Heart of Wood, Elixir of Discovery for 12 hours, or Elixir of Experiences, which gives you 50% more experience for 12 hours. And then you also get a potion that will clear all your chest ransacks. So that's your choices. Okay, that's kind of cool, especially for like the True Hearts and the plus 20 heart. Okay, all right. That's a decent reward.
Okay, so what about a full year?
Then, if you stick around for a full year, you're going to get a special mount that only you as a VIP will have. And that mount is going to be, wait for it, a cloud.
A cloud.
Yeah, you're going to ride around on a storm cloud, and there's going to be little lightning bolts coming down as you're riding through the streets of the city. What? What? Is anyone, please, podcast at ddoplayers.com. If you have been clamoring and petitioning SSG saying, I want a cloud to ride, damn it. I want to hear from one person that wanted a freaking cloud to ride around on.
I heard rumors that some people were asking for a flying carpet.
Yes. Now, that's been wanted for ever since mounts were announced. There's been a lot of people that wanted flying carpets, which, okay, flying carpet would be kind of cool. I could see a flying carpet. That would be pretty cool. But, yeah, so there you go. And then keep in mind, these are consecutive. So let's say you're VIP for, say, 5 months.
All right.
You log in at 5 months, you get your box of many things, and then you're like, hey, I gotta drop my VIP for a little while. You know, maybe life is in the way or money or what have you. So you say you drop your VIP for a couple months. You come back in. So when you come back in to your VIP, you're not going to start again on month 6. You're going to start at month 5. So you're going to be behind everybody else that has stayed VIP. And Seb did say in the live stream that they did talk about doing some kind of catch-up thing, like just some little thing like you can go to the store and buy, but they decided not to do that. So if you pause your VIP for any length of time, you'll just restart over at whatever month you left off on. So keep that in mind too. So if you really want that month 9 fletching reward, you better stay VIP for 9 months. If not, you're gonna just put yourself behind the 8 ball and really get into that 9 fletching. I'm sorry. I try to be like a positive person on their show. I try to, not give SSG a hard time, but what the hell? Like, I'm sorry. I don't understand this at all. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. And then keep in mind, this is on top of all the other existing VIP bonuses that we already get. So you're going to get your 500 a month. You're going to get all the other perks that you get. You know, you can go on any level. You can skip one quest in a saga. That's all. This is just something extra you're going to get as a VIP.
Right?
So, I don't know. Like I said, if I would love to hear from the audience. Please write in. Tell us what you think. Either podcast at DDOplayers.com, respond in the show notes over on DDO Players, respond to the YouTube video. Let me know, because I don't understand. It's just a big oof. Like, oof. I don't know what they're thinking.
Oh, well.
Like, I mean, there's some things in here that are like, okay, I'm kind of okay with. There's other things that I'm like scratching my head with. So that's where I stand. I don't know. What do you think, Pine Leaf? Are you excited about any of these? Are you like confused about some of these?
Well, excited is probably not going to be the word on, because all right, fine. A additional character slot is going to be useful because I'm sort of pretty close to the maximum Canet as it is. So it would be, 10% is on the itemware. I would have thought maybe a little bit more would have been nice on that, but all right. Let's see. Fletching, well, of course, my Storm Singers aren't going to care about that. Well, actually, I guess technically we do have bows, but how often do I use it? Not often enough, right? The hirelings thing, of course, 20% longer is always nice and useful. Hey, maybe they've got a year before that cloud mount thing comes around. Maybe the artist will add a texture of a carpet on top of the cloud, so it looks like you're on a flying carpet.
I don't know. I don't know. I've already probably said way too much, I'm sure. People are going to complain and yell that I'm being negative, but I'm sorry. I don't understand this at all.
Okay, what were you hoping for?
You know, that's a good question. They've kind of put themselves in this weird situation where, to be honest with you, I don't think whatever they come up with, people are going to say, yeah, that really makes VIP worth it.
Well, there is that.
You know, it's like, but I don't know. I guess maybe give me like some maybe additional like permanent hirelings, maybe give me some other choices and some stuff. Maybe give me like, instead of the special VIP mount, let me pick any mount that I want and I could just get any mount. So like if say there's one horse that I really want, I could just choose that horse.
Oh, a mount picker.
Yeah, like kind of like they do in Lotro, where you have like the mount picker box or whatever that you get out of your Hobbit present or whatever they call it. It's been so long since I played Lotro, as you can tell. But yeah, so something like that. It's like, okay, so there's like this one particular horse that I really, really like. I haven't been able to get it out of my daily rolls or whatever. After 12 months, let me pick any mount that you have that I can just have. Like, I want that particular horse. Okay, cool. It's yours. I want that unicorn. Okay, cool. It's yours. I don't want a freaking cloud. Maybe I want like the flaming horse, or I want, a horse that looks like something else. Like I don't need a cloud. I don't need your fletching, because most of my characters are ranged anyway, and I don't need your fletching. I don't craft, so I don't need your crafting. Itemware, I'm really not that concerned about, but okay, I mean, I guess an extra 10%, okay, that's fine. Character slots, sure. I'll always take more character slots. Your box of many things, okay, there's some decent stuff in there, so sure. Your dancing lights, could care less. I can almost guarantee you, if this actually goes through and they do this, when I hit month 6, I'm going to turn those things off. I'm never going to use them, but I'll have them. Okay. And then crafting, like we said, don't craft, don't care. Again, tell me I'm wrong, please. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If you look over on the forums, yeah, there's mixed reviews on this, so it's going to be interesting to see what becomes of this. But yeah, there you go. So I hope you're all looking forward to that month 9 fletching, because it's coming, maybe.
Well, there is this little thing, all rewards subject to change.
Right. And then they did say they're still discussing this, talking about this. So hopefully they'll take what the community's saying and they'll say, hey, maybe let's mix some of these up. Let's change some of these. I hope to God, because...
Well, at least they had simple one for month 1.
Right. Okay, that one I like. Sure.
Yeah.
Another 500 points.
Yeah, I think that's the least controversial of all of them.
Oh, I agree.
And if you have that front loaded, see, because it looks like a lot of the controversial ones are later on them, and they've got more time for feedback and reaction after the system starts up than that they could change some of the later stuff.
That is true.
All right. So, any other comments on this before we go, or do you think?
No, I have said way too much already.
Okay, then let's go and see what the store sales are for March 9th through. It's been a while since we've given store sales.
It has been, and I thought, hey, we're doing the show early enough to where people can actually do these store sales if they want. And then I've had a couple of people that ask me, it's like, hey, why don't you do store sales anymore? And I'm like, well, because
it's how often we do our show on Wednesday.
Exactly. And it's like sometimes by the time we record the show, the store sales had already be over. Or they'd end the next day. But yeah, we're actually doing it early enough. So here we go. Store sales. Let me see if I remember how to do this. It's been a long time. It is, as you said, March 9th through the 16th. The Rise Again sale, 25% off select reincarnation items, healing items, spell point potions, quest XP elixirs. Also, back for a limited time in the store is the plus 20 Heart of Wood with a bonus plus 5, make that Heart of Wood with your purchase. That actually runs through the 19th. Store sales is through the 16th. The plus 20 Heart of Wood plus the bonus plus 5 heart is through the 19th. Weekly coupon code, a protection from evil potion, a plus 2 potion. You get 5 of those if you use the coupon code evil defense, EVILDEFENSE, Evil Defense, through the 16th.
That's sort of like one of those potions that I always forget about that I've got in my inventory.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potions like that, actually.
You got a point there. And we have a VIP XP boost, another VIP item in there, I guess.
Yeah, through March 19th, plus 15 VIP XP bonus. So if you're wanting to get some XP, want to level some characters, now's a good time to do it. If you're VIP, plus 15 VIP experience through March 19th, which is always good.
And that's it for our game news for this week. So let's go and see what's coming in from the dungeon. Where the Tales from the Lone Lands has been announced for the One Ring RPG. Ooh, going to the Lone Lands. Does that mean we're going to go into Weathertop?
More than likely, I'm sure, yes. They haven't announced a lot about this yet, but yeah, Free League Publishing did announce they're having a new expansion for their updated One Ring RPG. This one, as you said, Tales from the Lone Lands. Players can choose to play each adventure separately, or you can weave them in as part of a larger narrative. Tales included in the expansions are entitled A Troll Hole, If Ever There Was One, King of the Little Kingdoms, Messing About in Boats, Not It's a strike without a need. Wonder of the Northern World and the Quest of Armon Garuthos. Not sure how you would pronounce that, but
Garuthos
looks like Garuthos, I would say. The adventures are designed to immerse the players into the lore and mythology of course, Middle Earth. The expansion does assume the time frame is the same as in the One Ring RPG, which is basically set around 2965. If you're up on your Tolkien lore, that's when it is. So you're going to do a lot of stuff in the Lone Lands. I'm sure Weathertop will be there. I'm sure a lot of the other stuff that you know from the Lone Lands will be there. That's about all they announced. No release date is set for this yet. Stay tuned for that. I did reach out to my media contact, and he did say that they are going to release a little more information about this soon. So there you go. If you want to take your One Ring RPG to the Lone Lands, now you can do that.
I am just trying to say, messing around in boats. The Lowlands isn't exactly a place that I associate heavily with boats, except along the borders of it.
I was confused about that too. I'm like, I don't think there's a lot of places for boats in the Lowlands, but sure. Okay.
Okay.
I guess we'll have to see once it's released exactly how we can mess around in those boats.
Yes. Now, of course, some of my images from the Lowlands come from Lotro's implementation, so things could be a little bit different there. But all the water areas I could think of, except for the rivers bordering it, are all tend to be in swampy areas. I could just imagine trying to navigate through a swamp in a boat with a troll on the nearby in the mud throwing stones at you. That should be fun. Let's then go and see what's on the tabletop. Where Renegade has announced 2 new G.I. Joe Mission Critical expansion. What about the base game? How's that going?
Pretty good? Question mark.
Question mark.
There's a couple things. I did find out after playing it extensively with 2 people, don't play it at 2 people. Well, let me rephrase that. If you play it at 2 people, we have made some house rules on how to play it with 2 people. Normally, if you're playing with 2 people, what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to play 2 characters. Each of you play 2 G.I. Joes at a time, right. But those G.I. Joes act together. How we change the rules is you play 2 characters, but you just play it 2-handedly. So one of your G.I. Joes goes, then the other goes, and then your person you're playing with, their 2 goes, one right after the other. It makes it so much better. But
what's the difference between that and what they do? Exactly.
With what they do, you kind of it's all like shared. It's like a shared experience pool and a shared power pool, and everybody kind of goes at once, which is fine. But when you're playing 2 of your characters, you run out quickly and you don't have a lot of choices really. So if you play like you're 2 separate people, you have more choices to do. You have more power that you can. It just plays better. 4-player is the sweet spot for this game though.
Okay.
Definitely play at 4 people. It's better with 4 actual people, but like I said, if you're playing with 2, just play that way, and it plays fun. But yeah, I'm excited for these 2 expansions. The first expansion Renegade announced was called the Midnight Storm. It is featuring, of course, everybody's favorite ninja master, Storm Shadow, as a boss. It also allows the players to bring in some new G.I. Joe heroes, Jinx and Mutt/Junkyard. The game box is going to feature 2 hero figures, 2 character cards, 12 foot soldier figures, 10 foot soldier enemy cards, 2 lieutenant figures, 2 lieutenant deployment cards, 16 enemy cards, 2 vehicle cards, a boss figure, and a boss deployment cards. It's retail $60 MSRP. That is Midnight Storm, and the second expansion coming out is the Vanguard Strike. It's going to add the classic G.I. Joe heroes Flint and Lady J and Barbecue into your G.I. Joe mix, so you can have 3 more Joes to pick from. They are going to battle against a new Lieutenant Alf. He is the leader of the Night Creepers, and the new boss in the expansion is going to be Firefly. Just like the others, you're going to get all the hero figures, all the cards, yada, 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 rinse and repeat. $45 is the MSRP on this one, and that, of course, is the Vanguard Strike expansion. These are supposed to be out in August, so I'm guessing about Gen Con time is when these will release. So they should be at Gen Con, and they should be in your friendly local game stores as well. They didn't say an exact date in August, but I'm guessing they're probably shooting for Gen Con to release these. So looking forward to checking those out. If they're at Gen Con, I will be coming home with them. Either review copies and or I will buy them because it's G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
And I do enjoy Mission Critical a lot. I'm going to actually talk about Mission Critical some more, where I'm going to get a couple more plays into it, and then I might do a review on it. I like it. It's fun. It's a very fun game. I think you would enjoy it a lot more if you played. There is a Transformers game, and I cannot remember the name of it. I apologize. That it is based off of. There's basically they took the rules to that and just kind of tweaked them a little bit. So I think you would enjoy it more if you played that Transformers game. I've never played it. But yeah, so there you go. Expansions to G.I. Joe Mission Critical coming soonish.
Then let's go and see what's on the screen. Where Baldur's Gate 3 drops on August 31st for PC, Mac, and PlayStation 5.
Yes, we finally know the release date. They said it's coming this year. It's coming this year. This year is August 31st, to be exact. They also released a brand new trailer. That's how we actually got the release date. It was revealed in the trailer. Also, some other things were revealed in the trailer. The major thing that they did reveal in the trailer is it's going to have split screen co-op. So you're going to be able to play with up to 2 players on one PS5 using a split screen co-op mode. Or of course you can play online, and if you do online, you can do with up to 4 players. Also controller support. Baldur's Gate 3 has only supported mouse and keyboard gameplay during the early access on Steam, which drove me insane. But now the trailer did announce that it is going to have full controller support at launch for PC and Mac. So if you're playing on the PC like I am, I can play with my Xbox controller. Thank you. I have gotten to the point where with RPGs on the PC, I want to use a controller because I'm used to using controllers on RPGs.
Okay, I've just never got used to using a controller, so...
Yeah, especially for art. Now, there's like some games I don't like using controllers on PC on, like first-person shoot. Well, it depends on the first-person shooter. There's some of them I don't mind using controllers, but yeah. But RPGs, I'm to the point where I'm so used to using a controller for them. So if it doesn't have controller support, I'm like, what are you doing? The astute among you might have noticed, hey, we talked about PC, we talked about Mac, we talked about PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
What's missing from this equation? It's the Xbox.
Ooh.
It's coming, they said, but they don't know when. The folks over at Larian Studios said they've had an Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 in the works for quite some time, but they did run into a technical issue, particularly dealing with the split screen co-op. They are working on the Xbox version of BG3, but they're not competent enough to announce when the release date will be for it. They're still tweaking some things on it. They say they don't like announcing anything until they're ready because we don't want to get people's hopes up and then say, hey, guess what? We're not going to deliver on that. So they did point out, just keep in mind, there's no platform exclusivity here. So they can release it on Xbox. They could release it if they can get it ready. They could release it August 31st when the others come out. But they just are not committing to the August release date for the Xbox quite yet because they're still kind of tweaking that co-op gameplay. There was a couple other technical issues they ran into too. But so Xbox players, it's coming.
By the way, what edition is it based on?
5th.
It is based on 5th. All right.
Yes.
As opposed to the one that won't be named.
We don't talk about that here.
We don't talk about that. So let's go to our weekend gaming. And what were you up to?
Well, I actually did quite a bit this week, actually. I played with you. We did Isle of Dread. We'll let you talk about that, though. So we'll jump from that. Over on Kyber, ran our group with Patrick, Saphira, and Beavis. We're running Reaper 3. I hit level 20. We basically zerged through Sharn 1 and 2. And then after we get done with that, I turned in all of the sagas that I had, and that was enough experience to get me to level 20. So now, as Patrick, and I quote Patrick here, he says, now the fun and torture really begins.
It's the torture part which makes you scared about going above level 20.
Yay! So I can't wait to see what's coming with that. So there you go. And then after we got done with that, Saphira and Beavis and I ran the new Kill 10 Rats quest. We just did that on Elite. I really enjoyed that quest, actually. We took our time, ran around, explored all the area, did all the optionals and everything. So I really, really enjoyed that Kill 10 Rats quest. So there you go. And then I actually did play little video games. I actually don't have this in the show notes yet, but I will get it added. I did play the aforementioned Baldur's Gate 3. I jumped back in. It's been a long time since I played that. A lot has changed since the last time I played.
Ooh, for the better or for the worse?
For the better. For everything I've seen so far, combat still sucks ass. Still hate the combat. I hate the combat with a passion. I've talked about this several times on the show, but some of the other annoying things that were annoying me about it, they have fixed. Some other bug fixes. There was a point where every time I got to it, it crashed. That didn't crash anymore. Not sure if it's the update or if it's my new gaming PC, which, I mean, it's not technically new anymore. I've had it for quite a while now, but I haven't really played Baldur's Gate 3 on the new PC yet, so I'm not sure if it was my old PC that was causing it to crash or if it was the game or a combination of both, but here we are. So anyway, played that. Played a little bit more of Resident Evil Village. I didn't play that a lot. I basically just ran a couple quests. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm getting into the main part of the story, I think. So we'll have to see about that. And then I just dipped my little toe into a game called Icarus. It's a survival game. I had forgot I bought it. I think it was like the winter sale, maybe on Steam. It finally went on sale, so I bought it then. Just like I said, barely got it installed, created a character, took a look out into the world, got killed right away, and I said, yeah, we'll come back into this. So yeah.
I got killed.
Yeah. It's one of those survival craft your way, craft things, build things, survive on this hostile planet type game. So we'll talk more about that once I play it. And that is it. Let me make a correction to what I said last week. I misspoke last week when I talked about when we played in the Waterdeep Dwarves game. When I talked about that last podcast last week in This Week in Gaming, talked about how we were nearing the end of Waterdeep. No. We're not at the end. We're at the end of this section of Waterdeep Dwarves. I misspoke. Waterdeep Dwarves will go on. We have Olive Under Mountain yet to explore. This section of the adventure we're nearing the end of. So I just wanted to put that out there publicly for the record. I misspoke. It's not ending. There you go. Somebody will be happy now that I corrected myself. You know who you are.
You know who you are.
What about you, Pine Leaf? What
All
you
right.
up to?
Well, we begin with DDO, where, as you mentioned earlier, we ran the Isle of Dread together. We managed to finally get the island so that we could control where it goes and get it back so that we could return home. That's all nice and good. Then we went down to the wilderness to do various quests out in the area. For example, we went on and took on some tar pits, and we took on the tar pits. Initially, we went down an optional path which requires you to go through this room with tar pits, and about halfway in there, you get ambushed by a lot of folk, and so I was left on this tiny little platform surrounded by enemies who were pounding on top of me. Now, of course, I left my hirelings back in a safe spot, so I thought, okay, let's bring in the hirelings, and they, of course, plopped right into the tar pit water. Boiling right next to me, so they died.
Yeah.
And of course, I was being pounded to death, and either I got pounded to death or trying to avoid being pounded to death, I accidentally jumped into the water. Either way, I was dead. Then Drac, I think, was the last one standing. But
yeah, I finally died.
You finally died. So we got all nice and prepped. Drac bought some potions to help us get through this stuff so that we could all survive.
Oh yeah, I had a whole plan. I had this whole thing planned out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump to House Jurasco. I'm gonna get us some fire protection pots. I'm gonna get some health pots. We're gonna go in here. You stay back. I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna shoot those guys when they pop up. We're gonna draw them back. We're gonna fight them back here. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get through this section, and then
well, when we went around in the area, this time we took a slightly different path, and we didn't realize at the time, of course, that was an optional route that we were going. So it's probably a very deadly optional that was involved there, and we skipped that entire encounter.
Yeah, like we're almost finished with the dungeon, and I'm like, why haven't we got to that section yet? Like, I have a plan, man. I have a plan. Yeah, so there you go. I did have a plan, to be fair, though.
Now, I mean, I guess we could have technically have gone back to the beginning and gone.
We could have
through on that other end, especially since that character, I believe, does have a couple of detour scrolls.
We could have, yes. We could have went through, but at that point, I was just like...
We decided, we were a little tired at that time of that particular dungeon, so yeah, we said, okay, call to win, and let's be on our way. So we did a couple other dungeons on top of that, too, where we did Wild Thing, and we then trialed the Triceratops. Then... all my solo Storm Singer, I finished up my work on Isle of Dread for that, and then I ran the earlier parts of the temple. So I ran part 1 of the temple, which Temple of Elemental, even when they have its part 1 split into 2 parts, now I guess you could say part 1A and part 1B, and those 2 still took me an hour, I think, for each of those sections.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Obviously, I wasn't zerging through it or anything like that, because I was doing a complete one, because I wanted to hit all of the weaknesses that were in the dungeon in there. So that meant hitting every single spot there. So I went all the way thoroughly into there. I think I hit level 9 when I finished up on that, because I also did the fire node while I was at it.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then on tabletop, I was playing the new implementation of Dominion that's currently in early access. And this is the 3rd attempt someone has had on doing Dominion. I don't know if you've known about the saga of trying to get a app version of Dominion working.
Yeah, it's been quite the interesting thing to watch.
Yes, the first 2 attempts at it were really, really, really bad. In fact, the AI was so bad that their way of having any sort of challenge was to make the AI cheat. And I mean, obviously cheat. For example, you start out with the usual 7 coppers and 3 estates. The AI starts out with platinum.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it might have been gold instead of platinum, but it was just ridiculous.
But still, geez.
Yeah, I think it was something like platinum plus maybe duchies or something like that. So it was really horrendous. They didn't take out the AI side of it.
Yeah, apparently not.
If you want to do it properly, you had to go and actually look for opponents and stuff like that in order to do it. And the first one had such a bad rep, they said, oh, this new one, they could really do it better. So the second one, just as bad. So this new one who's taken over, first of all, this one's available on Steam instead of at some place where you have hard time finding it in the first place, which is nice and helpful. And they're actually doing it properly in there. And the AIs I find challenging. Now I find that the really, really good Dominion players, they're still able to work pretty well against the hard AI. But I know right now I'm finding them tough, and I mean they play it by the rules properly and all that stuff. They have all of the expansions implemented, so you've got a nice full set of expansions that are on there. And how they're working on it, the base game is either low price or free to play. I can't remember what the base game is, and that you could buy the various expansions. But there are a couple of means where you could wind up playing the expansion cards even if you haven't bought into that. Because I know at least in the early access, what they do is they have an expansion that's turned on each week, and so they have this weekly expansion that's automatically active. So if you don't have it, you could play that expansion anyway. I guess that's to give you incentive to get used to the cards and maybe want the cards that you buy DLCs for it. No, that and so I think that's a real nice way of handling the marketing on there. So I think they're handling the marketing a lot better, and their AI is a lot better than on the other one because it actually, as I said, it gives someone, I think, a low to mid level person a challenge, and they do have a easy, medium, and hard levels on that. So I've been playing that a bit, and one of the things that they added recently are what they call your daily challenge, and this is a challenge that you could play. It's against the hard AI, so I haven't won against the challenge yet in there. It's using several of the expansion things, so it's not just base game. It's base game and about 2 or 3 expansions in there. So it's a mix in there that you have to be really, really familiar with the minion, I think, in order to be able to just click and zip in there. Because some of those cards in there, I think, how's that combination work in there? And of course, I'm getting creamed by the AI as I'm going through there, but I am having fun trying to learn how to play Dominion because I've never really played Dominion all that much before. So this is giving me an opportunity in order to maybe, hopefully, learn the game. And that's my weekend gaming. We currently have 14 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this group, you could go to the Nations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. You have money to use for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. And if you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. UC Eastern Time. We record DDO Players News, so sometimes Drac has another time in mind during that week. And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. UC Eastern Time, we have Locha Players News. You can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. Now that is all for tonight, and this is Piling Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.